Misleadingly Quirkless, The Fool's Gold Act. Written by MothMothhMothh. Read by Cherry XD. Summary. Announcer voice introducing two asshole side characters and a present mic and misjoke. But who cares about them? I do. A slight trigger warning for this chapter. There are mentions of suicide in this and basically authority figures abusing their power. So proceed with caution. Chapter 3. When Midoriya was a child, he'd call into Present Mike's radio station and ask if a quirkless person could be a hero. The man had chuckled and responded with, "Of course, being quirkless just means you gotta work twice as hard." Younger Midoriya had ridden off of that high right up until the moment his teacher told him that he was better off dead. Running into said teacher certainly was not something he'd planned, especially whilst training for UA. Midoriya had been in the middle, quite literally, of cleaning up the local beach. Microwave in hand, he walked towards the skip he had hired, almost dropping it when he made eye contact with one of his old teachers. He froze up, holding onto the device like a lifeline. The teacher, known to Midoriya as Tanaka-sensei, grinned widely, like a wolf cornering an injured kid. "Ah, Midoriya." The student barely restrained a flinch. "It has been so long." The man paused, his eyes glazing over with a look of pure sadisticness. "I thought you would have killed yourself by now," he chuckled to himself, as if amazed by the greenette's will to live. "Honestly, I should have suspected you'd be too scared to do that. A quirkless like you wouldn't know the first thing about being brave." Tanaka scoffed, giving the teenager a dirty glare. Midoriya allowed their mouths to drop slightly, not enough to be easily noticeable, but enough for his sharp exhale to slip past his lips. He glanced to the side, praying for some kind of miracle to free him from the situation that was just a tiny bit uncomfortable. It seemed the fates answered his call, as a man spoke from behind him. Midoriya's eyes lit up as he spun around, discovering himself to be face to face with the torso of Present Mike. Tanaka gasped in surprise, blinking wordlessly. "Hey there, listener. Do you want to tell me why this dude is harassing you?" Midoriya took several seconds to find his voice. He was sure he'd put it next to All Might's hyperfixation, but somehow ended up to be top of his social anxiety. He used to be my teacher." The student paused, taking notice of the killed glare directed at him by the teacher. The hero's smile hardened, the warmth in his eyes freezing over. "As a hero, I do have the right to apprehend civilians for offensive behavior, and wouldn't you know that includes quirkism?" He flashed his teeth threateningly. Tanaka paled and took a step back. You have no proof." Yamada chuckled, loudly. "I recorded your whole interaction. He broke more than a few laws, so I wouldn't worry about running into a few more of us quirkless people outside of prison for quite a while." The teacher's eyes bulged when the hero used the word us, under the obvious impression that Present Mike was quirked. Midoriya gasped in realization. "That's right, you use Hatsume Industry Earthbreaker speakers resulted with them dealing with evidence that makes it, so you could register as your quirk. They exclusively designed it for you, because you're already deaf." Each word that tumbled out of the teenager's mouth caused Yamada's smile to widen. He ruffled Midoriya's hair. "You're great, little listener. I wish I could learn things that easily. As for you," the hero turned to the teacher, "the police should be here any second to arrest you. I hope you have a shit driver to the station." Pulling Midoriya under his arm, he walked away from the man, muttering something about a twat under his breath as he went. Midoriya had never been very good with navigating. Maps were useless, and compasses simply spun around and around and around. If it was his way, geography should be illegal. He honestly had no clue how he accidentally ended up running into Ketsubutsu Academy. He was emotionally a homing pigeon, without the homing and without the pigeon. He stared at his phone, which was supposed to display his path back home. However, the glitching on the screen caused him to come here. He didn't even know where he was. Placing his head in his hands, he let out a deep sigh. Geography was hard. He could make his way home easily. Who needed a map anyway? Midoriya did. Midoriya needed a map. Unbeknownst to Midoriya, he got the attention of a teacher. He spotted him from a window in the school. Midoriya stumbled forward, like a newly born deer, making his way from the front of the school, a pretty safe place, to a alley, a slightly less safe place. He turned to the exit, but he found his path blocked by an angry-looking man. Midoriya began. You look awfully young to be out here at this time. Don't you have school? The man growled, stalking closer. I'm homeschooled, Midoriya lied, backing up against the brick wall. Really? When I was your age, I never missed a second of school. I had perfect attendance, and look where that got me. And an alleyway? Resorting to mugging people. That was not the response Midoriya was looking for, or hoping for. He glanced at the ground, spotting a really nice-looking rock that looked good for giving the potential mugger a concussion. Now, kid, how much money you got? Midoriya had 645 yen, but that was dedicated to Maud's Pokemon cards. The mugger would have to take it from his cold, dead corpse. None, I was trying to get some exercise. Midoriya desperately searched for a way out. It seemed like a really nice rock. It would be put to such use. Such a shame. He slowly bent down, whilst the criminal was monologuing about how horrible his job was and how society was horrible, and wrapped his hands around the smooth stone, feeling the weight up his palm. Just as he prepared to throw, a tinted gas slithered its way into the alley. When it reached the would-be mugger, he curled up on the floor in laughter. Midoriya blinked. He began, not sure how to finish his very in-depth sentence. Hello? He called, honestly not expecting an answer. A head poked out from around the corner. Midoriya squinted for a second. Mr. Oak? He gasped, holding his hand over his face as he remembered what had just been put into the air mere seconds ago. This is such a coincidence. I've been waiting to ask you something for a while now. His voice was muffled in his hand, but Fumikago managed to make out what he said. Ask away, kiddo. We've got a while before the police get here. His eyes shone when he heard her voice, blown away by how happy someone could sound, so free from exhaustion while two of the most stressful jobs, with the economy collapsing around them. I've been wondering for a while, where do you get all of your laughing gas from? I've tried finding some online, but it doesn't have the same concentration, and it isn't anywhere near as efficient. Well, kiddo. She pulled down her face covering, taking a mental note of Midoriya's shoes. Let's just say I've got some good friends in good places, yeah? Midoriya buzzed with the lack of information. That must mean it's from Hatsume Works. What? She dragged out the word in fake disbelief. No way, I don't even know who they are. She wiped the sweat from her brow. Midoriya rolled his eyes. Still a smile on his face. That is bull, and you know it. Midoriya finished on that note, walking past the hero. Most certainly not so she couldn't see his fanboy expression, and heading in the direction to go home. It's the other way to Mr. Fu, Fumikago called, tightening the handcuffs around the criminal's wrists. Can't believe he swears, she mourned, pulling out her phone to harass Aizawa about his future student, blessing her with his presence. Oh my god, I actually got around to doing this chapter. Okay, so yeah, hi. I know it's been like another month, but yeah, there are still 2 more chapters to do in this, but I'm gonna get them done soon. It's pretty short. This entire series is just 6,000 words, but here I am, taking a long time to do it. Anyway, how are you all doing today? I don't know, how are you all doing? Tell me down in the comments, I need something to do. But yeah, I have like a bunch of podfics saved up, so yeah, I should be okay for now. I have like 5 different podfics. I have Yuri's Survival Guide, the Vent Gremlin Izuku series, AFO's Conundrum, Quirked vs. Quirkless, and this, so like 5 different podfics. I said that this would be posted last week, but I'm a liar, and this is way late. It's been 2 months. So, forgive me. I am working on a really, really special fic. This is going to be like a short 4-part series. I just double checked it. If you look it up, it's called Heisting the Heroes Gala. It's like a kind of Civil War fic, but it's also inspired by the fic No One Will Ever Know. I love it so much. It's funny. It has angst in it. It has hurt comfort. It has a bunch of fluff. It has smart Izuku, because I hate how they make him stupid in the anime and manga. I'm getting way too exasperated. Okay, so hope you all enjoy, and I will see you guys the next time I upload, whenever that is. Bye.